Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Friday afternoon / evening Zoom edition. And the market's been pleasant. It's just sort of consolidating sideways. It can't break through 35K, which has been a little frustrating because we want to see it shoot up past 40 by the end of the year would be awesome. But 35K is still really good. And a lot of the altcoins are joining in. Solana's had a big move, and as have many others. So let's go ahead and go to the charts and check those out. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello, Peter.
Hello, CJ.
And I redrew these zones last week. I've got the 35K is the top of the zone, and 25K-ish is the bottom. We broke 30K and have not returned. So we had this big move last week, end of October, and trending up. We broke through 35K on Wednesday, but again, couldn't hold it. Last 2 days have been negative. Not a whole lot, but Bitcoin's you can see hanging around 34.6. That's still some really good progress. As we get towards the end of the year, we sort of analyze things throughout the calendar year, and Bitcoin has more than doubled since the low it had at the end of last year. So overall, good performance, and things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Okay, Marshall, I looked at the chat, doesn't have a microphone, makes it hard to talk, so that's fine. And okay, let's go over to Ethereum and see what we have over there. Similar situation with 1850, can't break through, bounced off it a couple times, and just kind of chilling. Yeah, I'm getting messages from people. Anyway, looking good, looking good. I want to see it break through that 1850 so we can get that 2000 range, just like we want 40,000 for Bitcoin. But overall, not a lot of news. I've been reading the news sources I subscribe to in the mornings, and a few things here and there, but nothing really worth dwelling on. You guys have any questions or comments about the markets overall before we look for some day trades for the weekend? Okay, my group's kind of quiet. Okay, let's go to Altcoin Alert, see what we can find. And I'm gonna reload. And the first thing I like to do is sort by the AA score. That's my go-to sort. I'm looking for values 80 and higher. So according to Altcoin Alert, Solana has an 80.9% chance of going up, 48 to 72% the next. I butchered that one. It's supposed to go, it can go up 3% in the next 48 to 72 hours. Wow, if it went up 48 to 72%, we'd be in good shape. But no, that's not quite how it works. Anyway, Solana, I've been trading this all week. Had some successful day trades, both directions. I've got let's go to the 5-minute chart. If you haven't been with me for a while, this could be a new layout for you. We are working with the RTI is the main indicator I use to find entry points, and then I use cumulative data and the supply and demand visible range, which I'm looking at support and resistance. So these three together, and I decide whether I'm going to do a manual trade or not. So first thing I do is I look on the 5-minute chart to see if I have a dip trade or a pump trade option. I don't see either at the moment. We are above the SMA line on my Bollinger Bands, hanging around the top range, pretty close to resistance, so sort of in no man's land. If you want to set an alert for later, looking for a dip, the top of the green zone is here about 38.50. That could be a good place to do it. down towards the bottom of the zone, just around $38. So, and that's really easy. Right click anywhere on the chart that's not an indicator, add an alert, crossing like 38.50 once. And I usually use my information sources for my alert names. And TradingView will remember something if you use it frequently. So that's AA score purchase, and click create. Well, actually, let's look at notifications. I like to notify in my app, show a pop-up on my desktop computer, play a sound. I like this 3 notes reverb, but choose whatever sound you like. Some of them are more obnoxious and or attention getting than others. So click create, and that's how you do that. But if you've been with me before, you know that I prefer alerts on the 15-minute chart on indicators. So let's go over there, see what we can find. We're towards the bottom of the zone on Solana on the 15-minute chart. So that's not bad if you're looking for a long. Over the weekend, volumes tend to decrease, which usually means less price action, and often the price is dipping a bit. So on Friday afternoons, I often look for a short. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm reluctant to go long unless I see something I really like. And again, on a Friday afternoon, if I'm going long, or Saturday morning, I'm probably going to go in smaller than usual so I can have additional funds to ladder buy. It's a dollar cost average. Speaking of that, shout out to my friend Patrick, who has been listing my past Zoom calls and even gone back to 2020 and 21, where I was doing more topical things instead of the sort of meeting that we have now. So I went back and looked at some of my topical videos on, say, the 1, 2, 3 dip and ladder buying and approaches like that. So the charts will look different, but conceptually, they're the same. Because people have asked me, well, what can I do to start as a day trader? What can I do to start, swing trading? And I like to refer them to my videos, so I put a list together. If you're interested in that list, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. If you're a seasoned veteran, this probably won't be useful to you, but if you're coming back or if you're new, this list could be useful. It's a list of 4 or 5 videos to watch that could get you at least up to speed, know what we're talking about here on this day trading Zoom call. But I digress. Solana. So towards the bottom of the zone as we speak, we did have some movement on the Delta and across above the 50 on the RTI. I've been going for some more aggressive moves as we've been in more of a bull market this week and last week. So I've been setting alerts on the 80 to pump up, to go past it. Here's an example of that. Right here, we had a break above the 80. We had some candle action, I'd say semi-confirming on the cumulative delta. So this would have been a good entry right about here. And again, almost a 4% move in less than 5 hours. That's a really good day trade. That's a good spot trade. If you're on leverage at 5 or 10x leverage, that's even better. So looks good there. What happened here? Okay. At the moment, we don't really have any desirable crosses or candle action with the RTI. So I'm going to set an alert on here. I'm going to try to catch it when it goes above the 80 or below the 20 to catch the move. Like, here's the ideal scenario. Pull this back. All right, let's say it breaks above the 80 here. So I take that long position. I catch that move. It breaks below the 80 here. I take this short, sort of ignoring the cumulative delta as I go through this. I take this short, buy a couple additional positions, get out here with pretty good win. And it breaks above the 80 here. Take this one. you know, pick up a couple percent there. It dips again below the 80, catch this move down, you get the idea. So trying to get, you know, 3 to 5 trades off each chart. And this RTI approach can help you do that. So for the alert that goes above the 80 and below the 20, we're going to be exiting a channel, 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom.
We're done.
And I got some background noise. Can someone turn that off, please? All right, thank you. So this is the AA score purchase, going above the 80 and below the 20. And I've got it set up just the way I want, so I'm going to leave that there. Click create.
Okay. You're free from this.
Gotta get out of this.
Don't have to carry this around with you anymore.
Okay, I think I muted everybody out. Oh, wait, where was I? Okay. So I'm back to Solana on the 15-minute chart. We set one alert to break above the 80, dip below the 20. Another one, similar in concept. This is where we're catching dips and pumps after they recover. So we're going to be entering a channel instead of exiting it. So 80 here, 20 here, once per bar close. That keeps it on until you turn it off. Alert name, AA score per. Actually, I call this the 1, 2, 3 dip / pump. Notifications, I changed that to chirpy. And click create. And there we are. So I've got these 2 alerts ready to go. And if I get that big move up, something like this, I'll be ready. If you're, I trade through often third-party software, but you know, you can stay in it and keep an eye on it. You catch a move like this, you know, that's good stuff. Let's get in right about here. Yeah, you catch that all the way, 30%. Wow. Of course, you'll be watching it all day, but yeah, that's a heck of a day trade. Okay, we're a little distracted there, but I think I got my point through. Any questions or comments about Solana? Okay. Okay, Marshall's asking, he had a position in GRT, had a nice bounce today, very good. How do you trade on the way down? Marshall, a lot of the traders here, including myself, trade on leverage. We're a little more experienced. So you have to be on a platform that allows that. There's one called Bing X that I've been using for some of my longer term swing trade moves, and you can trade that on the way down. I generally encourage people to have some experience and success in spot trading before they move over to leverage trading because it's quite a bit more risky. So if you're fairly new to spot trading, you should probably stick with that for a while until you really feel like you have it nailed down, and then go into some lower leverage, maybe 2 or 3x on an exchange like BingX. If you live outside the USA, then you have quite a few more options like you know, Binance and Bybit and places like that. So, okay, well, talking about Forex now in the chat. I don't do that. I've dabbled with indices, but I don't do Forex. So you know more about Forex than I do. All right, thanks for your chat comments. Let's go back to Altcoin Alert. And the other we have here above 80 or close to it is Mask 79.8. Let's check that out. Okay, quick look at the 5-minute chart. Right in the green zone here. So if this weren't so squeezy, the Bollinger Bands are pretty close together. the dip's a little bit lower, say towards the bottom of the green zone, around 325, might be a good entry for a spot trade. And I went through the alert process on that last time, so I won't do it again. Let's go to the 15-minute. My computer's being a little slow. That's not good. Well, it's gonna. Okay, I think I'm back.
Yes.
Technical difficulties. Well, that was unpleasant. All right, thanks for hanging in there, guys. Let me get back to that window totally melted down. All right. See if it'll come up without the screen share. All right, I think that was a fluke. Okay, you seeing the mask 15-minute chart?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. My mouse is not cooperating. All right. So 15-minute chart on mask. It had the big pump on Wednesday. Could have caught that move above the 80 on the RTI. Looks like it dips here. Catch a little move down. Breaks back above. And yeah, I should use my horizontal line for this. All right, so we break back above here, catch that move up, dips below here. Pretty strong confirmation. It goes back up again, but drops like a rock. So might even get 2 trades out of this. And pretty good confirmation, kind of going sideways here. I would have been in that first one anyway, so assuming I was up at 3 in the morning. But anyway, catch that move down. It's going sideways below the 20, so this is a due for recovery. So mask might be one you want to catch when it comes back up. So when it comes back up, we have a recovery from the dip. And when this comes back up, if you go over to you're on the 15-minute chart now, if you go over to the 5-minute, it should resemble a 1, 2, 3 dip sequence and then a recovery from that kind of thing. That's how I found this, using the 15-minute chart and getting those recoveries and catching those dips. We had 2 dips below the 80 for a short, so either of those would have worked. All right, that's where we are on the RTI. Any questions or comments about mask? All right, let's look. Let's do another sort on Altcoin Alert. Let's refresh. Again, I'm on the altcoin radar setting instead of the dashboard because I want all the information. I sort by several of these different columns. We've done the AA score already. I've also been known to sort by social activity. Wasn't that your idea, John?
Yeah, if you do social activity, then the long-term and elder impulse ones show up. If you hit social activity, you see like 2 bullishes together over there.
Every sort of comment.
Yeah.
And all the factors, he didn't ball. He didn't cry. Well,
and I gotta mute someone again.
Yeah, it's K.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, guys, if you have background noise going on, please mute yourself. That's just Zoom call courtesy. We've all forgotten it once or twice in our times.
Yeah,
But,
screw you.
Thanks, Peter. Where was I? Social activity sort. All right. We got Ren. Ren's had a good day today, up 67%. I think I'd want to short this. That's just, I don't know. Let's check it out. I mean, 60% in one day. That sounds nuts. I saw this morning. It was 50% or something. Yeah, I was looking at this around here this
Wow.
morning. It's gone sideways, essentially. I think this is due for a drop, but I didn't see any news. Matter of fact, it's got Ren in trouble back last year. All right, so all I got to work with is a chart on this. Look at the 5 real quick. Yeah, nothing's jumping out at me here, except it's sort of the top of the resistance area on the 5-minute. I think that's going to be similar for the 15 as well. Yeah, because we had this big move this morning up to about 9 cents, and it's been hanging around between 8 and 9 cents most of the day. So I would probably short this. We'll call this our short of the day. Set an alert down here on the RTI. I want it to cross down on the 80. I probably leave it once per bar close until I took the trade, then I'd probably turn it off. This is going to be social activity sort. Notifications, probably just go with, yeah, leave it on chirpy. And yeah, I'm good to go. I'm going to want to have some pretty strong confirmation from the cumulative delta. I want to see like, 2 or 3 strong red candles going down in addition to a cross of the 80. And then I consider shorting this. But it's kind of risky. When something's pumping, it could just, dip a little bit and then take off again. So, function accordingly, but this looks shortable to me. Any questions or comments on Ren?
I would agree with that analysis. Boy, it sure does look ready to short.
Yeah, because it's just gone sideways since this morning. It did
Yeah.
drift up a little bit, but yeah, that 8.5 cents is sort of some mini resistance, and then 9 cents, definite resistance. All right. Well, let's we'll look at one more. And I'm gonna send a quick personal message because a friend of mine texted me. This is a little rude, but believe it or not, I have a personal life. And now it's not working. So much for that. All right, we'll go through one more quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. I gotta share again. Okay, so we did the social activity. Take a quick look at 1 hour projected. Polymath up 4.5%. Let's just look at this as I don't think this is something that can be shorted, so we'll look at this as a spot trade. I believe it's on Coinbase. And there we go, Polymath Network. Quick look at the 5. Between the well, right around the SMA line, so kind of in the middle, no man's land, don't like that entry. Did we have a past dip sequence with this? No. Well, I kind of want to see the opposite of this. Instead of pumping up like this and then dipping, I want to see it dip down, then pump, especially on a spot trade. So we're really nowhere close to where I'd want to catch this if Now we can use half of what I've been describing on trading both directions and just look for this as a long. So in that scenario, we want to catch this when it breaks above the 80 on the RTI and does a move like this. We can catch that. And I'll show an example of where we would. This would break right about here. We've got, you know, decent green candles trending up on the cumulative delta. So I like this as an entry for catching a trend trade. So as you can see, it had a really good result. The other approach would be something like this that dips below the 20 and then comes back. So looks like it happens here. It dips below the 20 and crosses right about here, and then we can catch this move, you know, for a couple percent, 5% in 2 hours, 2-3 hours. That's a really good day trade. So that's a really good entry there too. We don't have strong confirmation with the cumulative, so I might have waited a little bit on that. And then the next time we get this hard move up is right about here.
What are you looking for in the cumulative to confirm?
I'm looking for a dip below the 20 and then a break above. That's my retrace approach. Then for a trend trade, I want to see it blow up above the 80.
Okay.
So here's my entry on the dip trade. So see how it's below, it's dipped below the 20 and kind of coasting here. Then
Yes.
it crosses up right about here, and that's my entry on that one. And then if you want to catch, and then maybe you get out.
EJ,
Yes.
John asked, what are you looking for on the cumulative delta, not the
Okay.
RTI?
All right, my bad. So that's a good question. It's an art more than a science. I just want to see some candles trending up or some strong action. So something like this would be good. This is sort of on the, you know, the edge. This is really good, you know, things like that. And I'm still learning this myself, but if it's just straight like this, you know, I wouldn't take this probably wouldn't work for me. But then I see this big green candle after a small green candle, then that's more like confirmation.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I was letting you wind out to see where you were going with it. If you're coming around to that
Okay,
one, appreciate it.
thanks for the question. I'm sorry I got to cut this short. My phone's blowing up, so I do thank all you guys for joining me. And if you're watching on the recording, please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. If you're a Carbon member, I regret to inform you we're cutting back on the Carbon K2 Zoom calls. So my next one will be on or about November 15th. I'll get with Kevin and see, probably modify that schedule. I might do something maybe that I don't record during the week. I haven't quite decided on that yet, but I'll let you guys know in the Carbon chat. All right. Well, I appreciate you. We'll see you, hopefully see you on Monday. Bye.
Thanks, CJ.